You are live. Oh, cool. I hope this is working. If if you can see me and hear me, could you write it in the chat? Because I'm not sure if this is working. Oh, it tells me if there's people watching. There's no one. That's cool. That's fine. Um, Hi everyone. My name is Piper, and welcome to today's live. This is my first time using this program. For you, depending on where you're watching, you might be like, this looks normal, but we're using like this new system where we could go live on Facebook and YouTube at the same time, and this is my first time using it. uh so this is pretty cool. Okay, yes, you can see and hear me. Oh, cool. And it pops up where you're watching from. I was really curious about that, so thank you so much for commenting. I appreciate that. So yeah, now that I got that out of the way, let's start. Hi, everyone. My name is Piper. I hope you are having a great day today. You're staying safe, you're staying hydrated, all the good things. As you may know, February's theme is all about World Thinking Day, which is later this month. And the theme of World Thinking Day this year is peace building. So previously, in the other live streams, we've learned about what World Thinking Day is, generally speaking, and the last one was learning about creating brave spaces. If you've missed those streams, you can go ahead and check them out on our Facebook page, or the last stream about creating brave spaces was the first time we've used the system where we're live on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So you can now also see them on our YouTube channel, which I think is pretty cool. Because especially if you're subscribed to our channel, then if you miss the live, the video of it is right there. So that's fun. So once again, this is my first time using this streaming service. So if there's any hiccups or bumps in the road, I apologize in advance, but I think it should be fine. Today, we'll be focusing on what peace building is and how it makes a difference in the world. And without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so you might be thinking, Piper, what is peace building? And to put it simply, it is the action of seeking to build peace. That seems a little self-explanatory, but let's expand on that simple definition. So peace building, according to the Constellation Resources, seeks to address the underlying causes of conflict, helping people to resolve their differences and peacefully and lay the foundations to prevent future violence. So it's all about preventing violence. So why is this important? Well, the Constellation Resources reports that the number of violent crimes. Oh, also, if I'm looking down, I have my notes on my desk. Also want to put that out there. The Constellation Resource reports that the number of violent crimes has dramatically increased since 2010. They also state that, of course, violence affects everyone. Wars prevent communities from developing. They stop children from going to school, and it makes it harder for people to have access to health care. And then poverty then drives more conflict, and then it's just this overall is unending cycle of it. So a few fast facts about this topic is around a quarter of all people live in countries that are affected by conflict and violence, and over 6 million people alive today have been forced to flee their homes. This is the highest it's been since the end of World War II. World War II. Isn't that? When I saw that, that just blew my mind. That's crazy. And it's predicted by 2030, only not that long from now, only 9 years, it's predicted that half of the world's poorest people will be living in conflict-affected areas. Yes, all about peace. So what does peace building involve? So it's a long-term process of encouraging people to talk, repairing relationships, and reforming institutions. And for a positive change to last, everyone affected by a destructive conflict has to be involved in the process of building peace. So it's transforming relationships is the key to putting the end to all violence. And you might be thinking, well, how do you do that? This means that you have to have a conversation and understand where two sides are coming from. So let's break this down in the most simplest terms, right? So let's say you're having an argument with someone. Happens from time to time. If you guys are both too busy yelling at each other and just getting mad and throwing insults, that's not going to solve anything. That might be getting all your anger out, but like realistically looking and like for down the line, that's not solving anything. So where the real resolution and solutions come from is when you calm down and you talk about why you are fighting. You explain your side, they explain their side, and then hopefully you can, if not you guys together, then you have another party come in and help like come up with a solution together. And that's basically it, like if you break it down, that's in the most simplest terms of what this is. Um, and it works for, family members too, as well as like really big problems. Um, where I lost my place in my notes. Like I said, this is true for any conflict, whether it's big or small. And peace is built when we break down stereotypes and when different groups work together. So, how does the Constellation Resource, which is the website that I've been getting a lot of this information from, how do they address conflict? Well, they work side by side with the people affected by conflict. They build sustainable solutions. Sustainable means that it's ongoing, because you can't just be like, okay, you do that, I trust you. Like there has to be, checkpoints and things like that. And you connect everyone involved. Another organization that I'd like to talk about that also uses peace building is the United Nations. I don't know if any of you all have heard of the United Nations before, but I'll explain it. So the United Nations is a group of people from different countries and they have like a specific goal. So they were founded in 1945, which is after World War II, after the whole shock of how destructive World War II was. And it was originally founded by 51 countries. Today, it has over 193 countries involved, and they have four main purposes. It's first one is to keep peace throughout the world. Second is to develop friendly relations among nations. Third is to help nations work together to improve the lives of poor people, to conquer hunger, diseases, illiteracy, and to encourage respect for each other and rights of freedoms. And then fifth is to be the center of harmonizing the actions of nations to achieve these goals. That's what the United Nations is. So this is like right up their alley, peace building. The word peace building came about around roughly 30 years ago, and it was introduced to the United Nations in 1992, I believe. Let me check my resource real fast. I didn't write that down in my notes, but I have the document pulled up right here. Yes, 1992. And this is something that the United Nations like works actively on. If you go on the United Nations, like if you just like look them up, you could see like what kind of things that they're looking for. And after like every year, they have like an end of the year report. So if you're interested on how they what happened in 2020 about peace building, you can go ahead and do research on your own for that. That's very interesting to check out. I like I do for most Facebook, or this is not just Facebook now, this is YouTube too. For most of these lives, when I'm researching, I'm like, I just get into like this hole and I'm like, whoa, like all of these things. Like I did not know about peace building before looking all of this stuff up. And so it's really interesting to be talking about this and to, I think, have these conversations, even if I'm sure the majority of y'all are younger than me if you're in Girl Scouts, or even older and you didn't know. I think it's some of these conversations we should be having, these hard talks, and hopefully to have a more peaceful world. So that's basically all I have today. It was just like a little intro to what peace building is. I don't know if any of y'all have any questions. You could go ahead and comment them. But yeah, I would totally recommend that you do some research on your own to see what different countries and different areas of the world are doing actively about peace building. And just as like a quick reminder, you might not be used to our new like live schedule. So on Wednesdays, we'll always go live at 6 p.m. And then our next live will be Friday at 3. Yeah, so that's all I have prepared for you tonight. I hope you all have a great night. Stay safe, drink lots of water. And yeah, I'll see you all soon. Bye.